Welcome back to this week's episode of Going for Gold with Gia. I know we took a brief hiatus, but that was due to, celebrating and taking a week off of practice and also everything else in between. But we're back today for one final episode to conclude Season 1. Luckily enough, there will be Season 2. Gia and I worked really hard on getting a professional studio for Season 2, but with a different host as I am graduating this year. But I'm sure Gia will have just as fun with whoever comes along next. And you'll just have to have me as a guest, won't you?
Well, it'll be hard to replicate or go beyond what you've done. And we want to thank you from all our team, but you were part of the team. So you should be thanking, I don't know, yourself, but all of us, truly. We're so grateful. It was your project. You came up with the idea. And we were reluctant. We were kind of, coaches are gun shy here, so we kind of reluctantly agreed because of respect and admiration for you, what you do every single day. But it turned out that great connection between us here at Notre Dame Fencing and our incredible alums and the supporters to get the message across and see intricately what happens during the year, what our program looks like, and what direction we're trending to, one competition to the other, to follow our athletes. And you spoke about the conclusion, and what could be the better conclusion than two trophies resting right next to us here as a result of our incredible season.
Well, I know you did get to talk on Wake Up the Echoes, but will you just tell us a little bit about what it was like those 4 days during NCAAs, the vibes, the emotions going through winning the women's first, and then going on to still have to compete for the men's and winning that too?
Such a loaded question. We had a pretty successful season, and regionals, what a hectic. Going there, knowing that we have to hit the mark to qualify at least six, and possibly in some weapons, we had a chance to have alternates. And our team accomplished beautifully that mission. And then turn around and reset and compete for the national championships, and even more so, the peak in athletes without the reset to the best of their abilities, to be emotionally, physically, tactically, and every possible way physically ready to deliver the peak performance at the most important junction of the season. And our coaches did an absolutely amazing job for that. And our athletes truly followed the instructions and kind of guidance what the coaches laid out. And everything really interjected with each other. And we showed up truly well prepared, locked in. It's a famous term everyone uses now. The stress management or resiliency or the toughness we talked about to emphasize all year long. We're good, but could we be tough? To the women's side, this was the closest competition I've ever witnessed in 20 years, but also witnessed the toughest, the most resilient team I've ever been a part of, and as a coaches we ever witnessed. We had incredible showing 2022. Post first competition, and we scored 102 points with the women's side then, but the women started, the men were going to continue. Here there's no room for error. That competition is shorter, it's more stressful, and we scored 102 points. Had anyone, I was thinking the 95 will do it, 95 points, and Columbia had 99. They had an incredible competition. But somehow, some way, we never, not just bent, or we didn't even bend and broke or didn't break. We were just head on, pushing all the way through it. Not taking anything away from the boys team who started with the lead and finished with the lead. But
yes,
the women's side, I'm still astonished how incredible our girls were all the way through it. We were down by 1 point going to the day 2, which is the final day for the women's. Out of first 24 matches coming out the gate on Friday, our ladies won 21. That is absolutely astonishing. They won 21 1 out of 24 opening matches. So that was, when the stress and pressure was the absolute maximum. They just gave everything they could and delivered the performance of the lifetime.
And we had quite the fan showing. Did you take a look up into the stands?
That was incredible. That was incredible, and that was an it factor, to be honest with you, when we really needed them most, who gave us, extra, wind in our sails to persevere.
I know we've talked about in the past that there's only 12 athletes we can bring, but the rest of the team is such a huge part of those 12. Their competition, what they put out there, being their sparring partners. The team really showed up for those 12 athletes to unite them. Like, they were out there at the start of the competition every morning with their flags and screaming and cheering and, again, rallying for the part that everyone got to see on TV when we were getting that final clinch bout. But it was something else.
So the notion that the one team, one heartbeat, and everyone is a part of that win. It's not just the 6 women. Simulation we did week before the NCAA's during the camp here, everyone was 100% into it. And that is a continuation of everything we've done prior to that. So everyone is a part of this trophy. Everyone did their absolute best to create these 2 trophies to be a part of Notre Dame Fencing. It's not 6, it's 30 girls competed as a one soul in body of 6, and the same with the boys. And it is truly what I believe in.
Tell me, are we going to have room on our trophy case for these next 2?
Funny question. We already put the bid to make it bigger because it's filling up really quickly. But
yeah.
We will always make the room for it. I think we still have the room for the few, but again, let's for the years to come. We don't want to go too much ahead. We still have a few more weeks to celebrate, and then when season starts in August, we'll try to thinking about the next couple, if it's possible.
What are you talking about? You're already preparing, like the season for next year has already started according to the countdown
We
clock.
resetted the countdown clock immediately, and that's Dave's the favorite thing to do. When we win, the first thing he does, it goes and resets. And obviously, it's a self-conscious. The kid's already seeing that numbers dwindling down from 360, whatever it was. It's probably 200 something, or I think 320 right now. But again, it's always, that's what the championship program is, that they're always thinking about the next one. And without coaching, it comes from our athletes and the staff and around it that, yes, this is great, but what's next for Notre Dame Fencing? And it's the hard work and perseverance for sure.
And what's next for the coaches this summer?
I think they already traveled to World Cups, North American Cup coming up this weekend, and majority of our USA fencers will be there, with the coaches will be traveling. We have a few World Cups. It's never really stops. We just take a deep breath with the sign of relief and happiness after this one, and then just move forward.
And how many national championship titles is this for you now as the head coach?
For us as a team, it's 16. And we just leveled with Columbia to all-time trophies won by college in fencing at the Fencing NCAA. So, all right, so we passed Penn State, and we're right neck to neck to Columbia. I'm sure Columbia is getting ready for next year, as well as everyone else. And it was a tough competition. I mean, Columbia was the closest we had to compete against this year, but there's so many incredible teams and so many challenges ahead of us. Yes. But it's 16. Notre Dame Fencing is a proud carrier or owner of the 16 national championship trophies.
Yes, and it's going to take a while for the other Notre Dame teams to catch up in the other sports.
I hope that it's not going to take a while, and they're all going to catch up with us. Hopefully, we will not stop on 16 and keep moving forward. So, as long as we motivate others in any kind of ways, we're all about supporting every our team on campus, and we bleed blue and gold and want to be a wanted to see the witness of others challenging national championship and succeeding.
But Gia, it's been a privilege and an honor to be your host for this podcast and to be your student manager as well for the team in addition to that. So thank you so much for putting up with me as your host, but also for indulging me in this incredible venture.
As many times I can tell you thank you, it will not express the gratitude what I have and all of us for you, what you've done, how much you love this team, and how much this team means to you, and vice versa. I mean, we feel the same about you and part of this incredible organization. All of us make this place better, and certainly you are the big part of it. We'll Zoom.
Yeah.
With the
Zoom
first
me
episode,
in.
we'll Zoom you in.
Yeah.
How about
I
that?
expect so because we're going to unveil the rings, I would suppose. So
Rings will be designed, I think, pretty soon, and we can, whatever capacity.
yeah, you had me on the ring episode. There you go.
I don't keep secrets really well, so
No, you
it
don't.
better be somebody else.
But it'll be a good surprise.
Great surprise. Irish forever.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, unfortunately, this is the last episode for season 1 of Going for Gold with Gia. But we will see you next year. And as always, go Irish.
No script for this one, huh?
No, just
I've never read the script.
don't worry, because I didn't make one.
I don't know, even though it'll be like a whoops, 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 and I will forget. So.
Yeah. But I know you always talk about it in our episode, and I always take it out because you're so rude. I'm going to change the name of Going for Gold with Gia. Do you want to know the real reason why I put Going for Gold with Gia in there?
Yes.
Do you remember when we were first starting this podcast and I came up to you and I was like, okay, you ready to film our episode? What did you tell me? Do you remember?
I don't.
You were like, Cedric doesn't get enough showtime. You should start with him. I'll do a later episode.
Well, no, coaches don't get enough attention. And starting from me, or without them, their hard work, that will not be Notre Dame Fencing. So I'm the small part. So I don't like to be in front of the camera, to be honest with you. The second, Cedric is funny.
He is funny.
Christian is a really interesting talker, and Rolando is
Yes.
very charismatic. So, I mean, you have a better people to deal with than with me.
Yes, but that's why I had to add with Gia to it. Because I knew I would never get you on this podcast if I did not make your name a part of it.
Nice. Thank you for everything. So you can take those in Ireland and bring it back for the
I don't know
ring
if I'm going to
ceremony.
have enough room in my luggage.
Or capacity to carry.